Okay, here we go. Welcome, guys, to day 2 of FSX. Right now we're starting our Codex tournaments. Make sure that Twitch is off. Perfect. There we go. That's what happens. Doubling up on sound again. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So starting Swiss pools right now for Codex card time strategy today at FSX. First up, we got a mono red mirror match here, Volty versus NidoKing. So during the match, I'll be putting up the card overlays for what people are playing to give you guys a better idea of what they're using. Camera zoom isn't too perfect, so I have access to all that, so I'll be doing that in real time. But yeah, so Volty did really well yesterday in the Yomi tournament. He took third. The only people he lost to were Tello and NidoKing, who he's playing right now on Codex. And so those two are the ones who are going to play in the grand finals on Sunday. Our tournament today is going to be a best of 1, 50-minute rounds, six Swiss rounds, with a cut to top 2, and a best of 3 grand final on Sunday. All right, so who's going to go first out of this? Using high roll to decide. All right, so Volty red going first. Yep, NidoKing with the 5 workers. All right, so starting out with 4 gold is red. Lots of good openings here against a no patrol zone. You can do things like Madman Zane, the dreaded Brodog opening. Lots of stuff that red does here. This is kind of a fun fight because it kind of all hinges on who's going to be more suicidal than the other guy. And like all 3 specs do work in terms of dealing with patrol zone in their own way. So it just depends on how they choose to block. Like if they choose to block, like will they, or is it just going to be this offensive slugfest? We'll see how it goes. Yeah, you can do the 4d6s at 5. Yeah. That's what LK44 does. It's like a big old dice that are really nice to see on stream too. Very easy to tell base health. Okay, wow, he's going right for the face here. Just a 1/1 haste, so it just comes on the board and swings immediately. And also a lesser used card in the makeshift Rambaster. It's 2 gold. It's got haste. When it hits buildings, it does 2 damage extra. So base takes 4 on turn 1 from red. Goes down a card to do so. Plays a worker and 2 cards from hand, so he goes down to 2, and then he's going to draw 4 at the end of the turn. So he's already deciding to go down on cards just to pressure the base even faster. So a lot of this is going to be based on how well NidoKing adjusts to the aggro. Like, will he do the same? Will he utilize the same amount of cards to keep up tempo on the board? And now with no patrol zone too, he could do his own turn 1 hasted plays. And Rambaster is interesting because it is kind of a card that you need to get out as soon as possible to start doing work. Just because it's rare. I mean, maybe not against red, but it's rare that you're going to have a chance to get through patrol zone after the first few turns. Usually there's something in the way. Oh, Tower Madman. I like that. So decision is okay. So it's base with the Madman. So he doesn't trade Madmans. I guess he figures Madman will trade anyway. Need a spec card? Thank you, Ben. Yeah, it uses those. There should be a tower in there. Yeah, cool. So a tower is it's an add-on building. Whenever an opponent attacks you, the unit that attacks you takes 1 damage if the tower can see it. And the reason why that's important is that in case you had multiple instances of stealth or invisibility or other methods, like the tower blocks one of those, but not all of them. So what this is going to do is it's going to help NidoKing against the red aggro by basically making every one of his patrol zones an elite slot. So if he blocks with something, it's kind of got +1 attack. But even if he attacks base, buildings, whatever, still good. So Volty locking in his tech option. All right, so 5 gold in Volty's hands here. 4 cards in hand. Yeah, the tower does damage simultaneously to the target. If you hit the tower, same thing. If you hit a base, same thing. It's like at the exact same time. So Madman will get his damage out before he dies. Oh, and you guys don't have to do anything, but if you totally want to show the camera your tech options, that's fun. I can see that, yeah. Okay, tech 1 building in play. Pays 1 because he's playing monocolor, so no penalties there. 1 for a worker. So the real question is, does he play another guy? Or get a hero and stay at 3 cards? Okay. Yeah, so the Rambaster is going to do 3 hitting the tower. Yeah, that's a building. So Madman and Rambaster will both... So the Madman will die. Rambaster takes 1 damage for the tower. Bloodburn comes in, though. Bloodburn used to have haste. It does not anymore, so You do have 2 runes, but it does need a turn to get ready. Yeah, 1. You're right. It's only 1. Yeah, 2 damage to your base for the tower being destroyed. Add-on buildings are destroyed. You take 2. So yeah, starting deck card Bloodburn. So yeah, whenever a unit dies, you put a blood rune on it. It's got a limit of 4. Every turn you exhaust it, you remove 2 blood runes, do a damage to a building or a unit. So it's pretty interesting pressure in this case because it can be used to take out the 1/1s that red uses. Getting that final point of damage on a building is important. Like in this game, a lot of times units have 4 attack or so. Like that's kind of a magic number. If you have 5 attack, then you're way better than 4 because you can kill most non-max band heroes or all max band heroes. They're not in the taunt slot except for Rook. So 5 is like this magic number, and if you're able to gain that through any way, like that 1 doesn't seem like a lot, but it totally is. Notably, though, it does 1 damage to a unit or building, so it doesn't actually can't be used to kill heroes, but it's nice for pinging out certain things. All right, so Worker and Tech 1. Okay, so busts his own Rammaster and brings out Captain Zane of the Blood Guard. So Zane is a very, very powerful hero. He's the only hero in the game that has haste. He's a 2/2 when he comes out. His midband is whenever Zane kills a scavenger, he gets a gold. When he kills a technician, he draws a card. So that can be useful. But his max level now is you push a patroller from an empty slot in their patrol zone, and then they take 1 damage. So it's useful for removing the squad lead to get it out of the way so you can target other things. Zane can do fun things like push a unit from squad lead into technician and then run himself into it to get a free card. There's lots of stuff that Zane can do using the max band. Illusions will die if they're patrolling, if they have an empty patrol slot, because it's a targeted ability. Lots of stuff. But being the only hasted hero in the game is really interesting. Okay, so Madman attacks the Rammaster, finishes it off. They trade. And NidoKing's Rammaster went for Tech 1, right? Yeah, so Zane and the Rammaster hit Tech 1 for 5. So with no Tech 1 building in play, if Volty tech to any Tech 1 units, he won't be able to play them this turn. The tech building does rebuild on its own for free. So you do pay an initial investment on a building, but then you don't have to pay it again every time you rebuild it, unless it's one of those add-on slots. So in the case earlier where NidoKing had a tower, if he wants to build another tower, he has to pay the 3 gold again, but his base will still counts as a tech building in terms of if it dies, your base takes 2. They take a turn to build, a couple other rules that just generally apply to buildings that way. So he starts rebuilding the Tech 1. That's just an auto thing that does happen. But he's just cognizant that he can't cast anything from Tech 1. So what makes this game really interesting is the fact that every hand is a puzzle, really. In other card games, you kind of just have a mana curve and you follow it. You know, like you have, oh, it's my 3 mana turn, so I'm going to play my 3 mana guy. And you just draw like 1 card a turn and keep going. But in this game, because you're drawing a brand new hand every turn, and the board state changes so drastically every single player turn, and the fact that you can pretty much pay for everything that you got, it becomes really difficult to make decisions as to what you should actually do sometimes. But that's like a better problem to have. That you have a lot of options, and you got to figure out the right one for the situation, and have the foresight to realize that it's going to be the right play down the line as well. Instead of just, I play my 3-drop, I hope this works. So it's one like huge credit this game has. Like, cards are an economy, gold's an economy, hero levels are an economy, your tech buildings are important, your tech decisions are important, like everything's important, and it all weaves together in a really, really dynamic and interesting way. So also, there's a thing I frequently say about red, is that red's actually like the hardest aggro I've ever had to play in any card game. Alright, so drop a Bombastor down. So Bombastor's a 2/2 for 2. It's a decent blocker for red in the starting deck, but also has an ability where you can sacrifice it for one gold and sacrifice, and you deal 2 damage to a patrolling unit. So Scorch on a stick is what we call that, because it's like the same cost as a Scorch to do similar things. Okay. So Drakram Horn, interesting hero. His top band is pretty unassuming, but it's very, very good for closing out games, and it just applies this constant pressure for the entire game. That every time you kill him, you're going to take 1 damage. At mid-band, all your units gain Frenzy 1, which means they get +1 attack on your turn. And the first unit that arrives from your hand each turn gets haste at max band. So tricky timing on that. You just got to make sure that you max band him first, or you get the hero kill that levels him first, and it's still the first unit that turn. It's not the first unit you play after Drak hits level 6. So that's like a big difference as to how it, it's written exactly as it's supposed to be. But anyway, what I was gonna say about red was in other like card games where you play like the aggro, they're usually considered like degenerate lowbrow things where just never trade, go face. It's like a Hearthstone meme, right? And basically that's like they're considered just kind of non-finessey type things, and they're considered disgraceful in some way. But like the fast decks need to exist to make sure that the really, really greedy control decks have something to keep them in check, right? But in this game in particular, what makes it so difficult to play red is just when you penetrate the patrol zone, you have so much stuff to swing at that it becomes difficult to figure out what you should do. Or like in the other aggro games, or other games like where you're playing aggro, okay, I get through, I hit base, and I just put you on a timer. But in this game, it's like, well, is the tech 1 the important thing to stop? Is the hero the important thing to kill? Should I go down a worker to make sure that I get 2 more damage on their base, because it's going to end up being a way that you can close them out. It's like the mathiest thing that exists, in this game, as far as I can tell, in terms of like, I have no defenses and I'm going 100%. CPAT again complaining about the quality of the stream being far too high. Is this a problem, everybody? Like, is it too high? Like, is it actually? Where are you, Lubber? Lubber Fire Tech 1. It's a good unit. It's just a 1-drop. It's a 2/2 with haste, but it has that cool ability where even if the patrol zone is clogged, you can still get 1 damage on the building, and that includes the base. So, like, interesting red stuff you could do with Tech 1. You have like Lobbers, Crash Bombers, and Drac, and those are just like a constant stream of trickle damage into the base. But yeah, it's not as simple as just turn all your guys sideways. It's very difficult. So the Bombastor in squad lead is a 2/3. The Drac is a 1/3 in the Technician slot. And here's what I'm looking at right now. I'm sitting pretty close to the players, so I'm not going to give too much. Oh, Lobber 2, okay. Going down to 2 cards. Okay, so he does move Zane to 4. And make sure when things start to die, you put on those blood runes. Yeah, I'll take Lobber plus Rambaster to kill Bombastor. Yeah, so 3 blood runes for the Blood Throne. Yeah, mid-band Zane has 3/3, so he's able to easily take out Drac. Both players will draw a card for that. Zane gains 2 levels and goes to max band, so he doesn't actually take the 1 damage. He'll just max out. There's nothing to push, so he can't actually push it. Base takes 1 for killing Drac. All right, and then 2 to base. And this is what I was talking about. It's, what's the right call? Is it pressure the tech building or go straight for the face? And it's really, really hard to know. It takes a lot of experience. I played red for like 2 weeks trying to like figure all that out, and I'm still so bad at it that I just don't. It's just hard. And it's neat because you look at cards like the Blood Tech 3. Let me show you guys that. Maybe that's like all that red can really do, and trying to trade a bunch. Yes. So tech, the cards go in your discard pile right before your turn starts. So if Drac was going to die and cause you to draw and cycle your deck, your techs would be in your discard pile. Yeah. So yeah, they would not be in your draw pile. They would be in your discard. I see it. Okay. Thank you. Oh, no, that's not it. That guy. So begins Tech 2 Blood. Okay, so Gunpoint Taxman and Fire Bats. So Firebat, it's a 3/3 for 2, has an ability to deal 2 damage to a patrol or a building. So yet another way, if that guy untaps to NidoKing's at 12 health. Volty, you're at 15? Yeah. So already beginning the pressure, so. Gunpoint Taxman also out. One of the Anarchy Tech ones. But whenever Gunpoint Taxman kills a patroller, he steals a gold from that player. So it's a very good way if they're floating to manage that. A couple of gold steal effects in the game. What's neat about this too is that if you utilize the Zane Max Band with Gunpoint Taxman to put a enemy guy into Scavenger, right? Zane gains a gold if he kills that Scavenger, but then the player gains a gold. So if you can finagle a way to make sure that the opponent has a gold because you gave it to them through Scavenger slot, then you can steal it back with Gunpoint Taxman. Or you can use Pillage to steal it. So like the Zane Shove has lots of utility when it comes to getting the maximum value out of your Pillage, out of your Taxman. Oh, another Lobber out. Or not? Yes, Lobber. So just really, really high-powered pressure there. They do. So tower will be ready for you if you build it now, or surplus will not give you a card now. It'll give you a card next turn. Heroes Hall, same thing. Next turn. Okay. Rambaster Madman. Okay, so Madman and Lobber deal 3. Kill the elite slots. Gunpoint Taxman. So Zane deals 4. Lobber deals 2. Rambaster deals 3. For 9. So base goes down to 6. That's pretty much where NidoKing wants Volty to be right now. And the fact that he's teched Lobbers, just utilizing Drac soon to just guarantee damage with his top end is really, really good. It's going to be really tough. Like, now that, he has no patrol zone, we'll see what Volty can do. Blood Rage Ogre, nice. Huge card for starting deck card. It's a 3/2 for 2. But you return him to your hand if you didn't attack or arrive that turn, so he's not a blocker. He's a blocker for 1 turn while he's tired, and then after that, he's just all in all the time. But he's great, though. He's super high damage for a starting deck card. Say that again? Yeah, Heroes Hall costs 2. Tech Lab costs 1. So yeah, that'll start building now, and then next turn it'll be available. Okay, so he buys the Heroes Hall. So Heroes Hall lets him have an extra hero in play. Because he's still at Tech 1, he can only have 1 hero. Or at Tech 0, you can have 1 hero too. But discarding 1 card to draw 3, so NidoKing is really trying to put the pressure on here. Where is Blood Rage patrolling? Cool, he's in the taunt slot. 3/3 Blood Rage. Okay, so he technicians the Blood Rage Ogre. Yeah, there's no way he can keep it safe from the attack from the Fire Bat. Track out. Land Octopus comes out. Bloodlust. Oh, goodness. So Land Octopus is a massive, massive, massive 8/7 overpower for 3 gold. But it's got this drawback where you have to sacrifice 2 workers every turn. You got to feed the Kraken, basically. And with the Bloodlust, right? Bloodlust is you give up to 2 units and/or heroes plus 1 attack and haste this turn. His base is at exactly 11, right? Yeah. Yeah, so 14 off that. He's at 10, so yeah, you overpowered 2, so it's like 9. 7 flushes over plus 4, yeah. Wow, and then yeah, the blood burn 2. If you needed 1 more point, you had like an extra damage. So wow, yeah, explosive. Yeah, just Lion Octopus getting through. I know that like in that point though, NidoKing was like 1 turn from taking that too. This is super close. Wow. So Volty takes round 1 of the Swiss, goes up 1-0. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go see how the other matches are going. All right, so Shaq's actually off screen 1 with Blood Fire Bashing, which is an all-in red deck that features bashing instead of anarchy, and its job is to run like Iron Men to block and just use Wrecking Ball and like, is that kind of the core? Okay, so he actually used Jaina to burn him out. Yeah, so he's using Jaina to burn down buildings. Yeah, just did like a 3-card hand most of the time. But yeah, so Shax's Blood Fire Bashing beats FSX's Mono Black. Yeah, wow, that was a fantastic draw there with the Bloodlust and the Octopus. It's like super required. Because Octopus can't patrol, that's like one of the big things. It's not a big body that you can use to survive. It's just got to come out and do a thing. And with Bloodlust is one of the good ways to do that. It's cheaper too. Like you could, if you have tons of gold, you want to max band your Drac, and then just drop the Octopus then. But if Bloodlust is a much cheaper alternative, and I don't know how much more gold Volty had at the end of that either, if you'd even be able to. Yeah, 7 gold for Drac, Bloodlust, Octopus. That's crazy. All right, guys. Rest of round 1 is wrapping up, so we'll see what our next matchup is in just a little bit. So stay tight. Thanks for hanging out. FSX Codex pools, June 4th, and yeah, we'll see what matchups we got going in just a minute. So check out that challenge. See what you guys want to see. Maybe I can get something by request. Be right back.